Hello and welcome to how I play my level 110 Shaman. So we're gonna talk about spells. We're gonna talk about hotbars, how those have changed, how I've changed up my multibind. There is significant changes from my 105 video to this video. We're gonna talk about all those. We have burn buttons now. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. All right. So first up, spells. We have a different set of spells. Slightly, I'm gonna say slightly. We have added some dots to the mix. We got a cure on the bar now, and let's just get into it. So the first three spells I have here are Reckless Rejuvenation, which is our 110 Reckless spell, Reckless Regeneration, which is our 105 spell, and Reckless Restoration, which is our level 100 spell. Now I have three of these because I can actually cast them when I'm doing single target healing. Now I've broken up the way I do healing now into single target healing and then, oh crap, I gotta do AoE healing. So I've kind of split them apart, but with the way some of this stuff works, there is still some AoE healing in the single target healing. But these are heals that take damage. They generate damage on us to heal, right? So if I hit one there, you can see we didn't even lose any hit points. Two, there we go. We lost a little bit of hit points, 4%. Let's do the first one again. There we go. Okay. I have insane regeneration, so it's 700 a tick, so it's gonna tick back really quick. So these spells are our best heals. These are the best we can do right now. This one, I mean, it's doing 10,000 damage to us to heal 17,000 damage to somebody else. Kind of like a cannibalize, but we're getting mana. So those are what we have there. Next up, we have Cloud of Renewal, which is our current level group torpor spell, and this is good. This is a good spell. I do no longer have the single target torpor on my bar. I hadn't used it since like level 60, in all honesty. And even then, I didn't use the single target one very much. This is running at all times. They don't stack, so it's just like, why bother with that one at all anymore? Because it's just not necessary. Now, I guess you're asking, why? Why are you casting a group heal nonstop? That's dumb. What if no one needs healing? Well, unfortunately, the Luminary Synergy is Cloud of Renewal. So every time we cast this spell, there's a 100% chance to cast Luminary's Synergy 2 on all group members. And it will increase the healing provided by the next three level 95 or higher instant duration spells that land on them by 10,000 points. 10,000 points. All right, so you'll remember the lowest one we had was level 100, and it still works. All right, there's a trick here. You just cast Swell. Yeah, you just cast or Squall now, right? 4,600 times 3 over 7 seconds. It can't be twin cast anymore, so it's useless to what I am doing. I do have Squall in my group healing, but I do not have it in my single target healing anymore. They nerfed that line of spells, Shower, Squall, whatever the hell it's called, Spiritual, at some point in the last few months to remove the ability to twin cast it. So it's less healing, I say, because I'm getting 12,000 plus 10,000, right? That's 22,000 heal. I mean, almost probably 24,000 with all the extra stuff in there. Plus, it's just better. These are faster casting, and every other bit I'm casting this, and so this is like almost 100% uptime, as much as I can get it up, as you'd say. So we have to cast the Cloud of Renewal at all times, which is doing a 9,000 every tick, right? For, let's see, what's the current duration of that with my current gear. with my current gear, I get a 1 minute and 28 second duration on that. So there is overlap, but I do get 16 seconds of the Luminary's synergy that I need to keep up at all times to get those bigger heals to stay competitive. All right, so long explanation, but that's the reason why. It's also improved by the improved Ghost Renewal spell line here, which will, let's see here, increases the base healing by 10% and reduces the reuse time by 6% or 6 seconds. So it's pretty nice. Next up, I have a Prehistoric Intervention. This is a group heal. It just heals the lowest group member the most with a maximum of 24,000. Now, this is my group heal multibind. We'll talk about how all that's set up here in a minute, but it's separate now from my single target rotation. And then we have this other group heal. Ezekiel's Recourse calls a spirit to watch over your group, healing 10,000 points of damage and calling forth 3 waves of future healing. This is just a nice group heal. I just throw it out there when we need it. And typically when I'm throwing out group heals, it is because there is too many mobs that I don't have locked down yet on my Shadow Knight. And once they're locked down on my Shadow Knight, no one else needs healing unless they're doing AoEs, but it's just doesn't seem to be a thing in the current content of getting AoEs. So, and then we have Spiritual Squall, which is a 110 spell. This is from the Burning Lands. This does 4,600 every 3 seconds for 7.5 seconds. So you get 3 ticks of this. Well, every 3 seconds for 7.5. Well, I guess you only get 2 ticks, so maybe 1.5. I don't know. But it's a targeted AoE heal. It can crit, but it cannot be twin cast. It even says right there, it cannot be twin cast. It used to be twin castable, and it was like the best heal in the game, but no longer so. Next up, I have Dissonant Roar, which is our current level roar that we get at 106 from the Burning Lands. Now, this is a combination of our Spirit of Leopard line and some healing regeneration stuff that we can get going here. So I cast this on cooldown. It's a, I believe, 60-second reuse. Yeah, 60-second reuse. So that's on cooldown, and it's in my multibind for single target healing. So it's always getting activated as soon as it possibly can. And it's got a 44-second duration, so there's only a 20 second, well, 48. Yeah. There's like a 12 second. 12 seconds of downtime on this, give or take. You know, lag and all that, right? But that's enough. I'm not gonna try to cast the other leopard line to have it up at 100%, but it's definitely enough for me. Then we have Frostbitten Gift, which is our twin casting spell. So this will do a nuke for 10,000 on the target's target, right? This is a target of target nuke. So I can be healing my tank, cast this nuke on him, and it will attack his target. Pretty nice, right? Yeah, and then it grants healing twin cast. So if we target Hobbs here, I cast this right over here, I get 2 healing twin casts that I can use. So now I can go like this, there's one, and then regeneration, there's the other one. Boom. And it took all the synergies from Luminary Synergy too. So there's a synergy going on here that is improving my healing, and my single target healing is really what my goal is. Getting more healing twin casts will double my healing, right? So that's the goal. Next up, I have Incapacity. This is our current level slow proc. I don't slow. I think slow is absolutely pointless in the game. Like there's I say that, right? And then someone, oh, you need slow to do anything. No, well, you don't. I can do all content without slow. I did the Outer Brood group missions without slow. I don't need slow for anything. Now, a Shaman healer might need slow, but you know, a cleric healer doesn't. but I haven't needed slow for any of the content we're fighting. Now I do slow named because you know sometimes it's worth it, and the slowing I do with my Shaman here is only AoE slow and AoE mallow. I do not do single targets. I do single targets with my Beast Lord, but I do not do them with my Shaman. It's a waste of my time to do a single target slow in 99.9% of all the encounters I fight. But for the Beast Lord, it's not so bad because you know the Beast Lord's got some things to do. But I don't slow normally. It's just a waste of it's a waste of stuff. But doing this ability here slows the attack speed by 25%. So it's like already like 25% of the way there. So it's pretty nice, right? This is a nice spell. I cast it on my tank at all times, and I believe where's he at? He's right here. It is like 10-minute duration, I guess 2,000 charges. So it's pretty nice, right? I try to keep that up at all times. It's right here in my macro for, this should be 8. I just changed all these spells around just recently. So some of these aren't updated at the moment. So when all my characters have a buff X target 20 button, which is just all the short duration buffs on the tank, and that's what the Shaman uses. So we did Roar, we did Gift, we did Incapacitate, Chaotic Poison. So these, well, let's do both of these at the same time. Now, at this point, I would have 3 spell slots that I would have no idea what to put in. Nothing else will fit in my single target healing rotation, and there's nothing else I want to put in the group healing rotation. I have nothing else that I would do, right? There's no other abilities. So I went with the 2 dots that we get. These are combination dots. You get these in every other expansion. So Burning Lands, Claws of Vishan, Night of Shadows, and the Outer Brood. These are when you're going to get these combination dots that take your 2 poison dots, your 2 disease dots, throw them in a single spell and be like, hey, there you go. This is the way it should have been the whole time. And and so this is nice, right? Let me clear this here, and I'll show how fast this actually activates. So there's the target dummy. So this is on shift numpad 4. There, poison's instantaneously cast, and then right as it recovers, disease goes on. Now, the way I have, we'll talk about the multibind in a second, but so this is what, let's look at the spell damage while we're doing this here. So this casts the highest rank of Scorpius Blood, Nectar of Suffering, an additional 10% chance to do Mara's Bite, which is a direct damage for 13,000, and then another chance to do the 6,000, 6,500 Spear too. Now the disease one does the 2 disease dots, so it's 9,000 a tick and 7,000 a tick. And you can see here I am doing significant, dot damage, right? Now, the only time I would actually use this is on a named encounter where the healing is not so much, but the hit points are really high. I've encountered that where my Shadow Knight can solo the mob for the most part, but it's just got so many hit points. I'm going to be there for a month, So this is very useful for that kind of stuff. And this is the only reason I have these 2 spells memorized. And, it's just something nice to have there. But you can see here, we're getting crits for like 100k, 314k. It's pretty crazy. Now, the Shaman, Shaman are very nice because they get the same kind of focus abilities that Necromancers get for their dots, right? Let me see if I can find them. Right? Critical Affliction, right here is one of them. Well, it's already max level, so it doesn't go as high as like as the Necromancer, but this increases like, the critical chance of dealing direct, 55%, right? Destructive Cascade right here, another one. Critical damage goes up to 375%. So theoretically, these are, going to do fairly high amounts of damage in long HP encounters where I don't need to heal as much, and I have that, let's say it takes 4 seconds for me to cast those spells and get those out. That is when I would use those, when I have that 4 seconds to do that. Now, in those kind of encounters, I would be slowing the mob, so the damage coming out from the mob would be less. So it would be, I would probably do it like this. So I'm going to hit Shift Numpad 3 to do my AoE Mallow, and whatever that is. And then I go into AoE Slow. Now, the mob is going to be slow. He's also going to take damage from this Languid Bite. That's just another proc thing we got, right? It also cripples him and does that. So I have all that in, 2 macros. And like here, if I do Shift Numpad 4, you can see how fast I can get those back up. I mean, like half the mob's HP bar is literally my dots and debuffs. So it's pretty nice. Now this chaotic poison has like I think it's like a 30-40 second reuse time. So it's not like every encounter that you'd be able to do it, but for all the encounters that you need it, you do have that ability to have it out there. So that's the spell. No, it was one more actually. And we have Blood of Tevik. This is a group cure for poison, disease, and curse and corruption. Now, why do I have this on my board? Well, I'm used to playing with the Paladin. I've been playing a Paladin for a while. And Paladins have a nice spell called Splash that is pretty much you just push a button, saves the day, right? And moving forward in the content we're going to be fighting, we're not going to be able to do that kind of splash curing, right? Like I'm going to have to manually cure. Now, we have Radiant Cure has a cure right over here, which will cure most things, right? But it's a 1 minute reuse. Then we have Impure Spirit, which will do a single target. So I kind of have this up here just because like we're gonna get into TOVs soon. I say that like in a few months. Sorry. We're gonna get there, and that's gonna have an AoE thing that's gonna go out and hit everybody. The Restless Ice. We get into some missions later on. There's going to be AoEs that we need to cure. And I already want to be like in that mindset when we get to that point. Like I know I have a cure right here. Now, I don't have it on my hotbar yet. I haven't figured out where I want to put it, but it'd probably be something like right here, right? So I can just do Shift Numpad 5 and cast it, right? So I think that's, something, a place to put it. And when I'm doing that, I can, make sure that it's good to go. So that is all the spells I cast normally. These are the everyday spells. Number 13 is my swap spot, and I do swap in my pet to, summon my pet. I keep my pet out at all times. The pet, I mean, obviously it's not the greatest pet in the world. I would say it's about the same as the Shadow Knight pet. If we send it in here. Right, he's getting, 2500s, 2800s, 8700 crits. He gets lucky crits. 2100. He's actually doing a little bit more damage than the Shadow Knight pet was. But this one I think has buffs and stuff. But the cool thing about the pets is they proc. This one's procking Dissonant Roar, which is a 14,000 proc. There's some other procs that I can get from my bard when the bard is singing songs that all add up to more damage. That's damage I'm providing to the group without having to do that extra damage. My shaman is always my last damage dealer in the group, but at the same time he is the most healing. So hey, it works out, right? You don't have to do a lot of damage with your healer. You don't even have to do any damage with your healer, but any little bit helps to get to that, magical 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, 5 million DPS for your group. You want to get to those benchmarks for each expansion so that you can, clear the content in a, quick and easy manner. So just depends on how you want to play it, but I like getting that extra damage out there. I feel like it's really beneficial. I also do regeneration sometimes, but not as much anymore because it does not stack with Roar. It just depends on, you know, what's going on. Like after a res, I might do, you know, regen just so everybody can get healed up and stuff like that. But at this point, it's not as big deal. And like almost all my characters have, you know, this massive HP regen. Like right now I have 7,900 HP regen from all the junk that's going on, right? And I think Cloud of Renewal counts for that too. So, I mean, I'm healing back 7,000 HP every 6 seconds. Like, it's not too bad. And I have, what, 240,000 hit points? So, we'll talk about gear later, but we'll go into this. So, all right, let's talk about my hotbars and how I've changed these up. So you have to think of it like this. I have 3 buttons that I push for this character, 4, 5, and 6. So 6 is for AoE healing, 4 is for single target, send the pet, and it does. I'm not doing anything else, right? If I just spam 4, I'm doing nothing except send my pet. And for some reason, Blood of Tavok. This is the cast 13. That used to be something else. I don't even know what that was. We're just gonna get rid of that right now. Oh, I used to have a nuke in there. That's why. So I literally changed these before making some of these before making the video. So so I'm doing nothing when I'm pushing 4. When I push 5, I start healing my Shadow Knight, right? And then I turn into a bear because I got a lot of stuff in here. So we're gonna talk about that here in a second. But single target heals, Roar, and group Torpor. Those are the only things I cast when I'm doing single target heals. And it just, you know, you spam it out. I can hit all 3 of the Recklesses this way. And it just takes a cycle or 2 to get there because the recast timers on certain spells like Forbidden. There you go. See, that's all of them. Hit. So that's single target, and then I go into AoE, which I just start hitting 6, which is a lot slower because it's Spiritual Squall, Prehistoric, Recourse, and then there's not much else. But I don't plan on spamming the button for very long because the recast time on these things isn't as quick as, say, like a Cleric's, but it's just enough to do that. And like on my Shadow Knight, I do have AoE taunts on the same button. So theoretically, it's the only reason is for doing is to help lock down the mobs that might have, you know, be on more than one character that I can't, and I'm not going to bother trying to single target heal. All right, so that's how it works. Let's go into the details of here. So 4 is literally just this button, X target 19, which is my assist target. So whatever my tank is targeting is he's the assist. It's the, you know, that's the target, right? I pet attack it, I pet swarm it, and then I call my pet swarm pets in, right? While I'm pressing 4, like every other character is still doing work via the, you know, their multibinds and the key broadcasting via Boxer, but I'm not doing anything, which allows me, while I'm pushing 4, I can go shift numpad 4. And I can do the dots, and I'm not doing anything else, right? So it works out. All right, and then let's go into 5. So 5's is pretty much the same thing. All it is target the tank, which is X target 20, and then it goes Frostbitten Gift, Cloud of Renewal, Roar, Reckless Rejuvenation, Reckless Regeneration, Reckless Restoration, and then we have a bunch of AAs. So we have Union of Spirits, which is see, heals our target for 45,000 and then 29,000 every 6 seconds. Right, it's a big, nice heal. Does some stat buffs too. This one here, Ancestral Guard. Now this is on our character. Gives us a melee damage, kind of an absorb shield kind of thing. So it's a little defensive buff for us. Instant cast, I wouldn't use it otherwise, but it's nice. It's a 10 minutes, so I consider everything under 12 minutes to be the just burn it when you got it kind of thing, and everything over 12 minutes to be the opposite of that. So these are all 10 minutes, so I just burn them. I just burn them when I can. So this one is Ancestral Aid. It just heals all group members for 8,000 every 6 seconds. So it's a nice big group heal over time. Then we have Rabid Bear. Rabid Bear is 12 seconds. I like Rabid Bear. I like using it on cooldown because it gives us a significant amount of HP regeneration. Let me see where that's at here. Somewhere in this tooltip it says it. Attack power, melee attacks, health regeneration by 2250, right? It doesn't show up over here for some reason, but that's 2250 extra healing over time that we get on ourselves because I'm doing Cannibalize on cooldown. So Cannibalize takes 90,000 my health and restores 44,000 mana. And you can see, watch, if I hit this, it's going to take me probably about here. Yeah, right about there. But I tick up, you know, like I'm already at 91. I didn't do any healing. I didn't do anything. I've self-healed myself back up that 90,000 in 2 ticks, maybe 3 ticks. So it's definitely something to think about, right? I have all these other buffs on me going on at the same time, right? Heals 10,000 health every 6 seconds, has a 25% chance to trigger more, right? I got a lot of healing going on. All right, then we have Soothsayer's Intervention, which is the group heal. Prehistoric intervention, right? That's all it does. Is it's just an AA to cast that twice, right? I have that memorized right here. This is just an AA on 3-minute cooldown to cast it again instantly. So I have this in my single target healing because it's instant and I don't have to think about it. It just heals. Now, it's a 3-minute duration, so like on the, you know, like I'm burning cooldowns for no point at certain situations, right? Like when I first start a fight, I might be burning a cooldown, but it's not a big deal at the end of the day because it's going to be up in 3 minutes, and who knows what's going on in 3 minutes, right? Then we have Spiritual Guardian. This places the target under the Ancestral Guardian. If their health drops below 50%, it gives them 30,000 health regen. For 24 seconds and prevents any other one there. So this is kind of like a get out of jail free card for the tank if this is on him at the time. Now, I do not have this on... I have this in my Multibind. It's a 5-minute reuse. The duration is 1 minute, I believe. So there's obviously... No, actually, places your character under the protection for 6 minutes. It's a 5-minute reuse. So this is 100% uptime, I guess. I never realized that. So at all times, my character has a 50% chance when he goes below 50% health to not die, which is nice. It's a really strong heal right there. And then we have Spiritual Spirit of Urgency, which when activated summons a level 105 spirit to distract your target for 15 seconds. And then does some AoE taunts and all kinds of nonsense and stuff like that. So this is one of those things that you might want to put this in like a burn. I like to use these kind of abilities on cooldown because they just pull aggro off the tank, right? I have my pets taunting, my warder, my mage pet, they taunt. I don't have the shaman or the Shadow Knight pet taunting because they're just not that great. But having these random things that can just pull aggro off the tank and give him a breather, right? Like, I'm only healing the tank. I don't care about healing pets. They don't die anyway because of other mechanics. But it's pretty insane. Like, it's pretty insane to be able to, like, take that pressure off momentarily. Now, if I put this in, like, a burn, right? Like, I'm gonna say I'm fighting a named that's, you know, actually hard. It might help a little bit, but at the same time, it probably wouldn't because it's just nothing in the group content is that hard, right? So it's just a matter of doing it. All right, so that's my 5. I got 2 spots left. Well, I guess I could have 4 if I wanted to, but I split the hotbar to be split between these 2. And let me show that real quick. So if you go here to your hotbar, right? It's Hotbar 11. You can see how this one's like 5, 6, 6, 6, 6, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 6. Right? These buttons, that's all they correspond to. And you know how they work. So you just assign the button and it works however you want. If I wanted it to be 8 instead of that, you know, just do it like normal hotbar, like hotbar 1. You can see here it's 1 through equal sign, right? Just, you know, however you want to do it, you can do it however you want. Let's see here. And then on 6, which is the same button here, just target X, target 20. I do cloud of renewal, squall, intervention, and recourse. I don't have any AAs in there because I just feel like they're already going to be burned in the when I'm hitting 5. I feel like 6 is more of an oh crap kind of button that I want to get AoE healing out because, you know, something's going on. Whereas 5 is, all right, the tank's taking damage. We got to heal the tank, heal the tank, heal the tank. I feel like I'm going to be doing more tweaking to this as we go throughout the rest of the series, but I feel like this is my current best setup for this. Like at 125, we are going to get a new spell slot, which I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to put in there, right? We don't believe we get any new spells, new spell lines, I mean, until for the rest of the game. I don't feel like there is anything new, so everything's pretty much just going to be the next version of all these, and then we're going to have a spell slot. Theoretically, I might put in the magic dot in there. That might be a good one. There's another direct damage spell. I think this is a version of it, right? This is an instant cast poison nuke. It does 13,000 damage. That might be nice to put in there. Now, from what I've done in the Outer Brood so far, the mobs have a lot of hit points. Like one named was like 1 billion hit points. and I'm only doing like 4 to 5 million DPS. So some of these fights take a little while. And it's just, you know, that's something we're going to have to figure out when we get there. But I feel like this is pretty good for 110. As we get to 115, you know, we'll see what's changed there. But for the most part, I don't plan on changing the multibind from here to 110 or 115. So we'll see how that goes. But if you want to see my debuff macro, it's here. So this is mallow. This is slow, AoE mallow. And that's Spirit Coal. My dot macro, X target 19. My X target extended target's been the same since level 1. It's all the group members 1 through 6 in the same order on all my characters, and then X target 19 is the assist target, and X target 20 is the tank. That's my dot macro. Cast 11, cast 12. Let's see here. Nothing else there has changed. Oh yeah, burn. So let's talk about this. So we have a burn button now. We didn't have a burn button before, but now we have its Spire of the Ancestors, which gives everybody aspect of the Ancestors, which increases the chance some weapons are proc by 25%. Minimum base damage, accuracy goes up. Everybody gets a bunch of nonsense. Like this total healing goes up. It's just crazy. It's you gotta use it, right? And then we do silent casting to lower our aggro by 85%. Not that it matters. I don't think I've ever drawn aggro off anything on this character. Once my Shadow Knight got to the point he is now. Let's see here. Call the Ancients. Summons a ward. I used to have this in the multibind, but it is a 20-minute reuse, so I moved it out and put it into the burn button. This is a ward that will heal everybody by, what is it, 6,700 every 6 seconds. It's insane. Now, I moved it here. It makes more sense to be in this kind of button because I want more healing coming out while I'm burning because something else might be going on. You know, ads, etc., etc. So And then we have dampen resistance, which gives us a resist modifier. Now, I used to think this was you had to target a target to do this, but you don't. You just cast it, and you get a little buff over here, dampen resistance. So I have it in my burn button now. This works pretty good. Then we have Fleeting Spirit, which is our healing twin cast. This is a 20-minute reuse. Allows us to twin cast 12 heals or 12 healing over time spells. Let's see. Not 100% sure. I guess it gives us both. Here, let me actually use this real quick. Hotkey that. Spirit Call? There we go. Let's move that right to there. I think it gives us both, right? If I'm not mistaken. There's Fleeting Healing and Fleeting Decay. All right. So this is the way this works, right? Gives you the ability to twin cast your healing spells and the ability to twin cast your dot spells, right? So if you make sure you do your burns and then you do your shift, numpad 4 or whatever, or you do your dots, right? Pandemic and Venom, and you'll see every single one of those is going to twin cast, and you're going to do over 1 million DPS. And then while that's going, that'll burn off in like 2 seconds, right? But you'll be able to do twin cast healing. So pretty nice, along with all the other healing you got going on. So we got that in there. And then we have use item 17, which is our breastplate. I currently have a conflagrant breastplate still because I haven't got a better one yet. But we'll talk about gear here in a minute. So this does a group heal for 10,000 to 35,000. And it's based on the same as intervention. So whoever's lowest gets the biggest heal. And then we have Spiritual Blessing, which grants our instant duration healing spells, i.e. Reckless, to 100% chance to score a critical heal, but increases the mana a little bit. Oh no, a little bit of mana cost. Oh jeez, what am I gonna do? Cannibalize? But double critical heal is like a double heal, so you're just getting more healing. You become a healing prophet, if you will. So there we go. That is everything in my burn right now. I'm gonna go through this list a second time to see if there's anything I missed, but I feel like that's where I'm at for now. And I don't feel like it's gonna change because I don't see any abilities we haven't gotten that we're gonna get. So all right, that is my spells. That is my hotbars. That is, these are all just buttons to AAs, right? Rejuvenation of Spirit is our res. Call of the Wild is our battle res thing. Virulent Paralysis is our root. Perfect Levitation is our levitate, which I believe I have blocked anyway. Group Silent Presence is our group invis. Virulent Swarm is our AoE slow. And Wind of Malice is our AoE Mallow. Nothing else really here. I did pick up this Curious Companion Compactor from somewhere. Right-click, Pet Shrink, so kind of nice. I do have this self-buff button. It activates all the different self-buffs. We have Visionary Unity, Pact of the Wolf, Incarnation, Lupine Spirit, and Group Shrink. So I have that in there, and these don't do much, right? Pack of the Visionary Unit gives you Pack of Molech, which is just our Murturk, which just summons wolves if we get attacked. Pact of the Wolf is our aura. You gotta make sure you have that up all times, and every time you get a new one via auto grant or by the AA, you need to recast it or you won't get it. But this increases our health, mana, and endurance by 20,000, along with giving us 80% attack speed, see invis, ultra vision. Turns you into a werewolf and all kinds of other stuff. It's pretty crazy. All group members get that. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what the difference between those are, but it's a big buff. Everybody gets it. It's zone wide too, and it's permanent. Like it's like the devs love shamans. I gotta admit, right? All the other auras, they last for like, let's say, an hour and 30 minutes. Shaman aura lasts forever until you die. Like, it's insane. Like, they need to give some love to all the other auras. I mean, they should all be permanent and zone wide. I have no idea why this one's the only one that's that way, but it is that way. And then Lupine Spirit, which is just Spirit of the Tal attack, is an AA. Works for me. I think it's casted all the time just to make sure we have extra run speed. But it does increase attack rating. You'll notice I have like 6,200 attack on this Shaman. So it's pretty crazy. And then group shrink because I want to be strong at all times. All right, so let's talk about gear and what you should go for. So at 110, the best gear you can get is Snow Squall. I believe we had Weeping gear before, which is the best you can have at 105. At 110, Snow Squall is the best. And for reference, here is the Snowbound, which is the second best gear you can get at 110. These are required level of 110, recommended 115. You can see there's 1,000 HP difference and let's say about 30 AC difference, right? The mana regen and stuff are about the same. Those don't really change, but it's about the same. But you can see here the focus effect is really where you're getting a lot of bang out of your buck right there. 75 for 90% bonus on poison based stuff versus 60 to 90. So there's something nice. They both decay at 120, but it's very nice. You should definitely be going for Snow Squall if you can. It's not tradable on normal servers. On FV you can buy it. Snowbound, on the other hand, is tradable on all servers because it is tier 1 of the tier 1 of the first expansion of a level cap increase. So for some reason that gear is tradable, but the second expansion, the COV, is not tradable. I don't know. It's just something they do. But it is usable at 110, and it is not prestige. So free to play, you can use these. So, and this would be like the best 115. Well, I'm not gonna say that. Best 110 stuff you can get for a free to play account. You're gonna want to get a necklace if you're doing a lot of healing, because that's going to give you your healing spell increase. I still have a Conflagrant one, so that's something I need to find an upgrade for. You're going to want the Bracer for poison, and the range item for disease. And that's kind of like everything, right? Like, those are the three focuses that are important. Obviously, there's other things that are important, right? Like this Conflagrant belt is pretty nice because it gives a chance to cast a healing spell heal the group every time I cast a healing spell. So that's an extra 5,000 healing I'm getting out of that just for wearing a belt. I mean, that is phenomenal. Let's see here, magic-based spells. Now, if I was casting the curse, this would help here. But I don't, so you'd want the helmet if you're soloing. And if you're soloing, you'd have a whole different spell set anyway. And at 125, I'll cover how to solo at 125. Shaman, I'm not going to bother right now. But, yeah. I think that is absolutely everything I'm going to talk about today. If there's any questions or comments, please let me know. I'll try to link the class Discord for the Shaman classes. If I'm not lazy, I'm just the laziest person in the world. But if there's any questions or comments, please let me know. If I missed anything that you want to know more about, let me know and I'll hit it in the 115 video. But thank you very much for watching, and please have a fantastic day.